How you doing? Good morning, Uncle Lou here. Yep, that's right, it's me, Uncle Lou, live on LouTube for you, without a problem. For some reason, people want me to actually talk seriously about the Georgia-South Carolina game, instead of just running them down. I don't really know why, but whatever. Yep. So, Georgia versus South Carolina tomorrow, 6 o'clock. Now, most Georgia fans don't list South Carolina amongst their most hated teams. I get it. I've explained this before. I live on the border of South Carolina. To me, it's the most important game of the year. South Carolina's the team I love to hate. So, yep. But anyway, Georgia's going to win this game, and if for those of you that have asked, I'll go ahead and list some football reasons why. South Carolina is last in the SEC defensively in terms of rush yards. They're giving up 5 yards per carry, which spells disaster. UJ, of course, is averaging 7 yards a carry. They're not going to be able to stop the run. They've given up over 200 yards rushing in both their games. I don't have to tell you what that means. UJ is going to run the ball up and down the field. On Carolina, they're not going to be able to stop it. I don't 8-9-man box. It's not going to matter. Teams have been doing that for over a year now against Georgia. It's nothing new. It's nothing we haven't seen. You can put 8-9 men in the box. It's not a problem. Nick Chubb and company is still going to get their 6, 7, 8 yards a carry. So we'll definitely have over 200 yards rushing in this game. The knock on Georgia so far has been the quarterback play, which I'll agree has been suspect at best. I'm extremely disappointed in what's going on with the UGA passing game. Georgia hasn't had, listen to this, and keep in mind that it's 2015, not 1955. Georgia has not had a 200-yard passer in a game since 2013. That's just ridiculous. All of last year, Hudson Mason never passed for over 200 yards, and through 2 games this year, Grayson Lambert has not eclipsed the 200-yard mark. It's frustrating. I mean, it's bang my head against the wall type of frustrating. I'm so sick of these 5, 6, 7-yard passes. I'd almost rather Grayson Lambert throw 3 interceptions as long as those 3 interceptions are on 30-yard passes than to watch him dink and dunk all afternoon. I'm getting sick of it. But that is the knock on UJ. The good news is we're not going to need to throw the ball to beat Carolina. Their weakness is their run defense. Our strength, of course, is running the ball. So we're just going to line up and run the ball up and down the field. I'm not saying we won't throw the ball. Of course we will. But I'm not going to worry too much about the pass game here. That needs to be cleaned up, of course, before we play the Gumps on October 3rd. But anyway, the talent difference between these two teams is not getting narrower. It's getting wider. And I will give Carolina credit. They had their little run there where they had double-digit victories for a couple of years in a row or whatever it was. But the bottom line is you're just not recruiting like you need to recruit to keep up with the top teams in the East or the SEC in general. From what I can tell, you have 1, maybe 2 players on your team with NFL potential. Pharaoh Cooper's the real deal. I'll give you that. Your wide receiver. He would start on any team in the SEC. And Sky Moore, I think he plays linebacker for you guys. He's pretty good too. I'm not sure where he's projected to go in terms of NFL prospects or anything like that, but he is pretty good. But it's a sharp drop-off after that. You have those 2 guys. Other than that, there's not anybody on your team that would even start at another team in the SEC. You just don't have the talent. And I'm getting a little bit tired of hearing Carolina fans complain and bitch and moan about ESPN and the media and Paul Feinbaum and all these people who keep, talking about Steve Spurrier being too old or, Steve Spurrier retiring, yada, yada, yada. Carolina fans talking about it's hurting their recruiting. Hurting your recruiting? What recruiting? you don't recruit. I mean, there's a lot of things stacked against you, history being one of them, but people just don't want to play there. Clemson is a more attractive destination for what little bit of in-state talent you have. Any other talent tends to go outside of the state of South Carolina. They don't want to play for you. The best player to come out of the best high school player, anyway, to come out of the state of South Carolina in the last 20 years was A.J. Green, a damn good dog, and one of the best receivers right now in the NFL. You look back, you had Jadeveon Clowney and you had Marcus Lattimore. But think about it. Those are two of the best players to ever play for Carolina. And you had them, for 4 or 5 years, you had them on your team, 4 or 5 years between the two of them. And you won your 10, 11 games, whatever it was. Congratulations. Of course, you still didn't win any SEC titles, but you had them. But there are no Jadeveon the Clowneys, and there are no Marcus Lattimores on your roster right now, and you're not recruiting any. That was your heyday. Those 10 or 11 wins that you had with nothing to show for it, that's as good as it's ever going to get for you. That's just the bottom line. And even Jadeveon Clowney and Marcus Lattimore, I have just as many NFL touchdowns and sacks as they do. So how good were they really? I don't know. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But you don't match up. That's just the bottom line. You lost to Kentucky for the second year in a row. You're heading in the wrong direction. There's no other way to put it. It's not trash talk. That's real talk. That's just the facts. Steve Spurrier is retiring. He's not going to hang around and coach a bunch of scrubs on a 6-6 team. It's just not going to happen. This will be his last trip to Athens. Carolina will lose. Your starting quarterback, who was terrible, by the way, is out. So he's not playing this week. And this is something else that's not trash talk. It's just the truth. It's, take it for what it is. But the quarterback that you guys are starting against Georgia on Saturday was working in Publix last month. In August, he was a bagger at Publix. That's not a shot at Sports Live in the ATL. That's not a shot at Carolina. That's just the way it is. That's just the truth. This guy was a walk-on, and now he's your starting quarterback. Good luck with that. He'll probably be bagging groceries again next month. That's just the way it is. I'm not knocking the kid. I'm sure he's a good guy or whatever. I don't know, but a bagger to starting SEC quarterback, it just doesn't bode well for you guys. I know the line on this game is 17. Of course, I never bet money on Georgia games, but if I wouldn't take Georgia minus 17 against Carolina. Spurrier always seems to play his best game of the year against Georgia. I don't see why this year will be any different. That being said, I still think Georgia wins this game. I don't think it will be close. It wouldn't surprise me at all if we won this game by 20 or 24 points. I'm just not going to bet it because I don't bet Georgia games. But speaking of bets, there is a Carolina video maker on here, Zequan, that wants to make a bet on the game. I can do that, sir. That's fine. I don't know what you want to bet. If you want to do a hat bet or a T-shirt bet or a mini helmet bet, whatever, or if you just want to do a whatever merchandise bet, $20, $25, $30, whatever you want to do, that would be fine. You can, if Carolina wins, then just send me the link to whatever you want or whatever. We'll handle it from there, $20, $30. And if Georgia wins, which they will, so when Georgia wins, I'll do the same. I'll let you know what I want. You can send it to me. Let me know if that's good with you, sir. But anyway, Georgia wins this game going away. It won't be close. And then I get to sit back and watch the Gumps play Ole Miss, which will be a good one. But anyway, that's all I got. Dogs are going to roll. Nick Chubb will have his 100 yards, be his 11th straight game with over 100 yards, which is just amazing. It's unbelievable that anybody can do that in the SEC. But yeah, he's got 10 straight 100-yard games. This will be number 11. Not going to be close. And I still hate Carolina, and I always will. So until next time, good morning to you.